Spencer Davies, Cavs Insider. Looks like you guys fought tonight. Just a lot of back-breaking threes by Indiana. How would you assess the whole night?
I mean, I thought you guys competed. Like, coming off last night's game and then obviously being a little shorthanded, those guys went out and competed their tails off. I think some of those threes came because we just ran out of gas, asking guys to play long stretches. But, again, take your hat off to the guys that went out there. And I was proud of their effort.
I think one of the stronger parts of the night was Max and Evan making that two-man game work. How have you seen that kind of develop, obviously, in this game and over the course of training camp and where it is now?
I mean, they're two intelligent basketball players who understand the game at a high level. They know how to break down defenses, and they know how to make the right read. And, again, the more and more they play together, the better it's just going to continue to get. But they're such a threat, right? Like Max is such a threat coming off the shoot. And I think one of the things that, people have underestimated is his playmaking ability. Like he has the ability to throw those lobs or make the little pocket pass, depending on what the big guy does defensively. So I think the two of them together, they're going to be hard to guard.
You've asked a lot of Karis tonight. I think he played 42, 43 minutes. Can you just speak to his professionalism because he's had to do so much for you guys in the past couple of years?
Yeah, no, Karis is awesome, and that's why it was a priority for us to bring him back. There's not been a guy who's asked to wear so many masks as Karis has, and never once has he complained or argued or fought back. He just does what's best for the team. He's a valuable player. But he's an even more valuable person for us, as we continue to build, like with the right type of people. Karis is that guy.
And the last one for me, with Evan, it looked like you bought some time for him at the 5 to get to a little bit of rest. You tried Damian, I think, in the first part. You had Dean and George out there, and then Tristan even got some minutes there at the end. Was that just calculated coming in, not trying to overdo it with him?
Yeah, again, just keeping an eye on him, trying to keep him fresh and just give him the rest that he could. And then obviously depending on what's happening with the game flow also. I thought Tristan, gave us a great bump with great energy, which gave Evan an opportunity to get some rest. And I thought he was really good in that second half. He was forceful getting to the basket. He was helping protect the paint. I think showing flashes of what he's capable of.
Joe G.
Joe G. Kez.com. You talked yesterday about wanting the guys to attack the paint. It seemed like Karis really kind of took that to heart in the first quarter. Is that kind of what you...
Yeah, no, he's one of those guys that, he's hard to guard one-on-one. And it's just, when you put that pressure on the paint, defenses have to make tough decisions. And, again, if you're getting all the way to the rim like he was able to do, they make the adjustment and then the threes become available. So, I think he took it to heart. He liked his matchup and was aggressive, which is what we needed.
Did you feel like George had been pressing a little bit, and then today it seemed like he was finding his rhythm a little bit?
Yeah, I think it's just going to take some time for George to figure out, this group, where his shots come from and where he fits. But, again, he does more than just make shots. He's a heady player who knows how to create. He really can pass. He knows how to keep your offense ticking. I think it's just, a matter of time before he gets comfortable. And then once he gets comfortable, I think you'll see the full version of him.
Evan Damer, right down Euclid. JD, there's about a 20-plus pound difference between Miles and Evan, but how do you think Evan, one, responded to maybe that size difference and physicality Miles presented, and also the physicality Evan kind of imposed on Indiana tonight?
Yeah, I think he did a great job, and I think that's the strength that he's added over the summer. And what you saw is the different ways that he was capable of doing it, facing up, bringing the ball in transition, and just understanding momentum, right? Like his ability to bring force going forward. And instead of being the guy that's absorbing the contact, he was initiating that contact, which gives him the advantage. But I think that's the confidence that you get from being in the weight room and believing in the time that you put in and the strength that you've gained. I think we continue to see it.
You mentioned just him applying that force and that contact. Can that set a tone for the rest of your team, just in how they can play, especially if it's just Evan and not Jared back there?
Yeah, that's it's a message on both ends of the floor. Like we want Evan to dominate the paint. And I think tonight he did that on both ends of the floor. You look at how he rebounded the ball on both ends of the floor. Obviously, how he was attacking the rim, making plays there too. So, each of our guys have ownership of this team, and we ask them to lead in different ways. That's an example of Evan's leadership.
Last one, Spence.
Craig and Amani got a taste of NBA action for the first time tonight. As a coach, knowing that you don't want to put them in a position not to be successful, but you're kind of your hands forced a little bit with the being shorthanded. How do you feel like you can kind of get to them and say like, okay, this isn't exactly how we're going to use you, but we need you tonight?
Yeah, I mean it's difficult what we asked them to do, right? To come in and kind of spell guys who are going to play heavy minutes. It's difficult, and I thought they both handled it well. But as the season goes on, they're going to get their opportunities. There's 82 of these games, and throughout the year, everybody gets a chance. We believe in those guys, and they'll get their opportunities.
Sorry, two more. Bob from the Elyria Chronicle. The Knicks are coming up on Tuesday. Are you think the team's ready for it?
Yeah, I mean, again, we've got to get healthy. I think that matters. We've got a couple days here where hopefully, we can get some rest and the guys who, have been out can get back. But, this team, again, hasn't had the opportunity yet to be whole. And I think that matters for us. Missing, 3 of your starters and trying to find that continuity with the new group is difficult. But, again, we've got a long season. And hopefully we get this stuff out of the way now, and we get our guys on the court, and we start to build once we get healthy.
Is there a chance they'll all be back by Tuesday?
We'll see. I'm hopeful, but we'll see.
Chris
Fedor, Cleveland.com. Hey, JB.
What's up, Chris?
Obviously, tonight, unique circumstances, but when it comes to Evan specifically, is there room for him to be this kind of productive player when the other 3 starters are on the floor with him?
Yeah, I think so. It's, a night-by-night thing where, when you have the level of talent, like every night can be different, right? But everybody can have an aggressive approach, but the aggressive approach is to share the game, right? So as I'm attacking, defense makes the decision, I make the right one. Is it the finish? Is it a kick out? But, I think what we, again, have to do is continue to just diversify, but include everybody's skill sets and everybody play to their talent.
Was there something that you saw different in Evan, whether it was his ferocity, his approach, his aggressiveness?
Yeah, I mean, particularly in that second half. I think he liked particularly how he played in that first half. And he set his mind that he was going to be forceful. And it wasn't just, the half-court game. You saw him pushing the ball in transition, finding gaps and attacking. So I think, he made his mind up that he was going to try to help us win this game and do whatever it took, and I think he did.
Okay, let's go back to JB.
Appreciate y'all. Have a good night.
Bring in Max.